Hello, this is another poem I'm going to record, not one of my own, but one from the Book of Fairy Poetry, which is this rather ancient tome I was given at Christmas. Or was it my birthday? I forget now. But my birthday and Christmas are only a few days apart, so it all tends to merge. The poem I'm going to read is an excerpt. It's not the whole thing, because the whole thing is exceedingly long. But it's an excerpt from the Plea of the Midsummer Fairies, and as it's going to be midsummer in a few days, this is going to be my offering for that. And it's by a poet called Tom Hood. So, the Plea of the Midsummer Fairies. It was a shady and sequestered scene, like those famed gardens of Boccaccio, planted with his own laurels evergreen, and roses that for endless summer blow. And there were fountain springs to overflow, the marble basins and the cool green arcades, of tall o'erarching sycamores to throw athwart the dappled path their dancing shades, with timid connies cropping the green blades. And there were crystal pools peopled with fish, argent and gold, and some of Tyrian skin, some crimson barred, and ever at a wish they rose obsequious till the wave grew thin as glass upon their backs, and then dived in, quenching from their ardent scales in watery gloom, while others with their fresh-hued rode forth to win my changeable regard. For so we doom things born of thought to vanish or to bloom. And there were many birds of many dyes, from tree to tree still faring to and fro, and stately peacocks with their splendid eyes, and gorgeous pheasants with their golden glow, like Iris just bedabbled in her bow. Besides some vocalist without a name, that oft on fairy errands come and go, with accents magical, and all were tame, and beckoned at my hand where'er I came. And for my sylvan company in lieu of Pampinia with her lively peers, sat Queen Titania with her pretty crew, all in their liveries quaint with elfin gears, for she was gracious to my childish years, and made me free of her enchanted round. Wherefore this dreamy scene she still endears, and plants her court upon a verdant mound, fenced with umbrageous woods and groves profound. Ah me, she cries, was ever moonlight seen so clear and tender for our midnight trips? Go some one forth, and with a trump convene my lieges all. Away the goblin skips a pace or two apart, and deftly strips the ruddy skin from a sweet rose's cheek, then blows the shuddering leaf between his lips, making it utter forth a shrill small shriek, that like a frayed bird in the grey owlet's beak. And lo, upon my fixed delighted ken appeared the loyal fays. Some by degrees crept from the primrose buds that opened then, and some from the bell-shaped blossoms like the bees. Some from the dewy meads and rushy leas flew up like chafers when the rustics pass. Some from the rivers, others from tall trees, dropped like shed blossoms silent to the grass, spirits and elfins small of every class. Perry and Pixie and quaint Puck the antic brought Robin Goodfellow, that merry swain, and stealthy Mab, queen of old realms romantic, came too from distance in her tiny wain, fresh dripping from a cloud, some bloomy rain. Then circling the bright moon had washed her car, and still bedewed it with a various strain. Lastly came Ariel, shooting from a star, who bears all fairy embassies afar. Alas, quoth he, ye know our fairy lives are least upon the fickle faith of men, not measured out against fate's mortal knives, like human gossamers. We perish when we fade and are forgot in worldly ken. Pity it was to hear the elfins wail, rise up in concert from their mingled dread. Pity it was to see them all so pale, gaze on the grass as for a dying bed. But Puck, was seated on a spider's thread that hung between two branches of a briar, and gan to swing and gambol heels o'erhead, like any Southwark tumbler on a wire. For him no present grief could long inspire. Thank you.